what do they need in the draft? Now you're going to be in Vegas for the draft, right?
I will be. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll be there on the in the workroom. It'll be a lot of fun.
There's a workroom.
Yes. I have no idea. I imagine there's a press workroom. I'm excited to see what it is. I have no idea how this works, but I'll have a credential.
Okay. So I got two questions. What do they need? And in each case, could you name a potential player they might draft?
Okay. Let me go slow here. I think they need a lot of stuff, but they need a safety. They need a nickelback. They need a guard. They need a center. They need a tackle. They could probably use another wide receiver. They could probably use it. They need a lot of things. But one need in particular I think is really interesting. You and I have talked a lot about how losing Mostert's a big deal. And a lot of people don't agree because he didn't play much last year and the Niners were pretty good without him. But Mostert was very important to this team when he was healthy because he was exactly what they don't have, the big play, explosive running back.
Yeah.
And without him, they need to play their, all-pro wide receiver at the position. And that's not what they want to do that much. So I think running back is actually a very big need for this team. Elijah Mitchell's good, but he gets hurt a lot, and he's not that explosive. I wouldn't be surprised if their first pick this year, and they don't have a first-round pick, so their second-round pick is a running back if it's someone that they think is like the best guy in the draft. And Roger Craig was a second-round pick. Ricky Waters was a second-round pick. Do you remember what Bill Walsh said to you one time in the early 90s when the Niners were struggling and Steve Young was the quarterback? Do you remember that?
Was he the coach?
No.
He said to me, "Where's the effing running back?"
You can say it.
I don't want to.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, where's the effing running back?
Yeah,
this was Bill Walsh.
He was talking about the Niners. We were on the phone, and he was really pissed. And he's, "Where's the effing running back?" Yeah.
And I believe they went and got Ricky Waters probably the next year in round 2. Yeah. So if you can find a real, and here's the thing about running back, he's got to be useful as a receiver. I think Bill Walsh understood that. Oh. He can't just be someone you have on the field for first and second down and then take him off the field at third down because he doesn't catch passes or block. So he's got to be someone that you get 3 downs of value out of. But if you find someone that's a good receiver and really explosive as a running back and he's available at 61, that's not a bad pick. In fact, that could be a total game changer for the 49ers next year. So there's a guy named Breece Hall. Not Bryce, Breece. He went to Iowa State. He ran a 4.39. He had 5 touchdowns of 75-plus yards in his career. It's the kind of guy, and he's a very good receiver. So he may not be available at 61. I don't think the Niners will trade up for him. But if he's there, he absolutely could be the best player available. And you don't think of it being smart taking a running back that high, but if he's the right kind of player, I think you absolutely can justify it.
Love
it. That's one.
Name another position.
Well, there's guard, but you could argue that, a running back is more valuable to a team than a guard. I think the secondary, they never take secondary guys in the second round, but we've talked about this for a long time, but there's starting to be some stats that back it up. Coverage is the most important thing on defense now. Coverage, not run defense, not pass rush, coverage, because the ball comes out quicker and quicker every year. The quarterback stands in the shotgun. There's 3 wide receivers on the field. The ball comes out, and now it's about people, linebackers and safeties and cornerbacks making tackles or covering people. So the Niners got a good corner this year, but they lost Jaquiski Tartt and K'Wan Williams. They need more guys in the secondary. And if they could draft a safety, they could take a guy named Jaquan Brisker. They could take a guy named Brian Cook from Cincinnati. There's any number of safeties they could get in round 2 that would be starters for them, and probably nickelbacks as well. Marcus Jones is one of them. But they have plenty of options if they're willing to invest that much in the position. The Niners are a little stuck in the past where you think they win in the trenches. If you think about it, the quicker the ball comes out, the less the trenches matter, if you think about it. So, safety, nickel.
And also, if they play Trey Lance and they roll him out, he would be elusive.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We were looking at it the other way. Forget it. I'm half out of my mind these days.
Okay.
Forget what I was just saying.
But one way to look at it too is like, yes, they need a safety, they need a nickelback. Their defense is really good, and it's better than their offense every year. when they don't have a running back who's good, the whole offense falls apart. And Debo has to play the position. It's a run-first team. Pass protection isn't really great other than left tackle. The quarterback has no experience. A running back, I mean, when Mostert was healthy, he was the engine of the team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
If they could have a guy that good again, they could go back to the Super Bowl with an inexperienced quarterback, with either one of these quarterbacks. So I just think that's a sleeper running back.
I like it. And one thing about Debo, the problem with using him at running back, he's a play away from ending his career every time he gets the ball.
I mean, if you do what you suggested, where you don't give him any contract and make him play out his rookie deal, then yeah, play him at running back. And if you're not committed to him long term, but as soon as you give him $50 million guaranteed, you probably don't want to do that anymore. That much. I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Name a third position that they might want.
Offensive line. And I don't know what's going on with Mike McGlinchey. I think what the Niners feel is that like they can get by with backup level players or mid-round picks from the past, but I think they're getting real. It's getting dangerous. You have a good left tackle. You have a backup level left guard, a backup level right tackle. Really, any starter who's good on the offensive line, they might want to consider, because the quickest way for this season to be ruined is for whoever the starting quarterback is to get hit a bunch and get hurt. Can't have that. Can't have that. So offensive line?
Sure. Iggy, what is the status of Aaron Banks?
All of a sudden they say they like him. But last year, he wasn't even active. You know what I mean? Like, there are the starters, there's the backups, and there's like the 5 or 6 guys who aren't even trusted to be backups that week. They're inactive. He was that guy every week except for 2, and now they're saying we trust him. He's going to be our starter. I don't know about that. That seems like a hope and a prayer. And then he's going to compete with another guy who was a draft pick last year. Like, that's the best you can do. That's really scary. I mean, look what happened to Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Got hit a bunch, and his career didn't last very long. So I think there's a lot of like analytics that say, well, offensive line isn't as important as it was in the past. Ball can come out quickly. You can sort of protect the quarterback in a lot of ways. Fine, just don't get him hurt. Because 2 years ago, Jimmy got hurt by week 2, and then Nick Mullins got hurt, and they finished the season with C.J. Beathard as their quarterback. So they have a bad track record protecting quarterbacks.
And Iggy, weren't there times when Trey Lance got sacked a lot?
He got hurt twice last year. He got hurt in the preseason, remember? He broke his finger throwing, and then he got hurt in his first start. He messed up his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So offensive line is kind of important. Yes.
Offensive line to me is really, really important.
It's like we just named 4 or 5 different positions. The Niners only have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds. They were probably counting on another one from Jimmy Garoppolo that they didn't get. I'm curious to see what they do. Maybe they trade down and create more picks. They have so many needs. I don't know.
You know, it's easier to trade down if you have a first round pick. It's harder to trade down when you don't.
Well, maybe the 49ers will trade Deebo Samuel and get a bunch of draft picks.
I don't think so.
Jay says, Grant, I eagerly anticipate the first thing that happens when you enter the locker room is you and Jimmy Ward make eye contact, and he just goes, Grant. Did you hear that? This was in Green Bay after they won, and I was there, and he went up to the podium, and before he took any questions, he just made eye contact with me and went, Grant. Like, what do you think of us now, baby? It's pretty funny.
You know, if I were another journalist in that room and he went Grant, I'd be jealous. I would have been jealous.
That's true. I've felt those jealousy moments when athletes talk to us.
I would have been jealous.
JP, $2. Thank you very much. Murphy, $10. Thank you. If the Niners think Trey is a bust, then trading Deebo, blaming it on his cost, and having an out for why Trey isn't good because he doesn't have weapons would be their best chance of saving their jobs. Whoa. That is really thinking down the line there. I do agree that if Trey Lance is a bust, everyone's job security is in question. They went all in with him at a certain point, didn't they? I think they did. He's going to have to be good eventually, I would think, unless they just keep Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hey, Iggy, they went all in with him until they didn't go all in with him.
I know. Ryan and Jennifer Wood said, Grant, thank you for all your content. I look you up at least once a day. Thank you. I enjoy your guests, but your dad has got to be the best of them all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
My dad is the best. Thank you. One more. I think we have more than one more. TB12 says, Niners have the opportunity to use Deebo to fill multiple roster deficiencies. One of their moves say they're in their own. Hold on. None of their moves say they're in win now mode anyway, so why not get young now? get Breece Hall ASAP. Trading Debo for multiple players. But the problem is Debo plays multiple positions. So you have to replace him with multiple players. You got to get a wide receiver, a running back. I think it's hard to replace Debo. My dad is betting. He was eager to bet me a bottle of wine that Debo's going to be on. He thought I was going to say Debo's going to get traded, but no, I'm not that crazy.
No, they're
I'm
not
just
gonna,
crazy enough to think Jimmy will be on
they're
the
going to
team.
work it out with Debo Samuel.
They're going to work it out. Murphy says, if we were offered 2 firsts plus other picks for Debo last year, would we have taken it? We would have taken the heartbeat. True, based on his first 2 years. Have to look at all years, not just last. 25 mil a year for Debo max. Okay, see your perspective.